Have you ever wondered how to enhance the perception of width in a mix? The Haas effect may be the answer you're seeking. This ingenious stereo imaging technique works by introducing a slight delay, somewhere between 10 to 30 milliseconds, to one of your stereo channels. This subtle time difference between the left and right channels creates an illusion, tricking our brains into perceiving a wider stereo image. It's a popular tool for adding spatial depth to elements like synths, percussion, and atmospheric sounds, so let's dive deeper into the world of the Haas effect. So how does the Haas effect work? It's all about playing with time. The technique introduces a slight delay to one of the stereo channels. This delay is usually in the ballpark of 10 to 30 milliseconds. Think of it as a small hiccup in time, a brief pause that's almost imperceptible to the naked ear but significant enough to make an impact. This delay creates a subtle time difference between the left and right channels. Imagine two runners in a race. If one starts just a fraction of a second later than the other, they'll appear to be spread out even if they're running at the same speed. This is essentially what's happening in your stereo mix. Your brain picks up on this time difference and interprets it in a fascinating way. It perceives the sound as being wider, more expansive than it actually is. It's like an auditory illusion, a magic trick for the ears. So, it's a clever trick of the mind, but when should you use it? The Haas effect is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It has its specific uses. So when exactly should you consider employing this clever stereo imaging trick? Well, it can be a game changer when working with elements like synthesizers, percussion, and atmospheric sounds. Imagine you're crafting an electronic dance music mix. You want to add some spatial depth, enhance the overall stereo field, and make your listeners feel like they're right in the middle of the dance floor. That's when the Haas effect steps in, subtly shifting the perception of width and making your mix come alive. But like any tool, it's all about how you wield it. It's not about using it all the time, but rather knowing when it can make the biggest impact. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Let's talk about potential pitfalls. Like any tool, the Haas effect can create problems if misused. The main pitfall to watch out for is phase issues, particularly in the lower frequencies. This can happen when the delay time is too long, causing the two stereo channels to be out of sync and leading to a loss of clarity in your mix. It's like trying to watch a movie with the audio slightly off. It just doesn't feel right. So it's crucial to introduce only a slight delay, usually around 10 to 30 milliseconds, to one of the stereo channels. So that's the Haas effect in a nutshell, a powerful tool for creating a wider stereo image, but one that needs to be used with care to avoid muddying your mix.